We are now just exactly 1 month away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 that a lot of fans are very intrigued about has all to do with exactly how Disney and Lucasfilm are going to utilize the characters of Rey, Kylo Ren, Palpatine, Luke, you name it, and exactly how that's all really going to unfold in the upcoming film. Now, with that being said, ever since the release of the final The Rise of Skywalker trailer, a lot of fans either felt very underwhelmed or very excited about what they saw. However, are still very much invested in the upcoming trailer 4 of this movie, also known as the international trailer of Episode 9, that will include brand new shots of many characters in the movie. Now, with that being said, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are described to be floating in mid-air while dueling with their lightsabers on board of Kylo Ren's Ravager Star Destroyer. It's explained that during the shot, Kylo Ren is said to have his helmet on and is said to involve a segment where a large explosion takes place in the background of his ship, where both Rey and Kylo Ren have to hang on to a piece of metal before they are sucked out to space. It's said to be an intense shot that shows Rey and Kylo's weakness during their saber duel, and parallels when Anakin and Kenobi had to dodge the balls of molten lava on Mustafar. Eventually, it transitions to a sequence in which they are clashing their blades together on board of Kylo Ren's ship, where this time they are not floating in mid-air, and that they are fighting to the death with Darth Vader's melted helmet seen in the background as they fight. Now, this is said to be one of the major saber duels within the second act of the movie by JJ. The next goes over a sequence in which Palpatine is said to be laughing while both Rey and Kylo Ren are on the ground injured, where Sidious is said to be shooting blue and red force lightning at the walls within his throne room cave on Exegol, causing rubble to come down and crashing down toward both Rey and Kylo Ren, where they are both forced to dodge the debris. As this happens, it's said that Sidious is said to have some quick close-up shots where his eyes are now in a glowing red color due to his Force Conduit ability. Whereas all of this happens, it eventually leads to a short shot of both Rey and Kylo Ren igniting Anakin and Leia's lightsabers as they begin to battle Palpatine before it cuts. Followed by another sequence in which Rey is said to be inside of Luke Skywalker's original X-Wing, as seen in the original trilogy, and that Rey is described to be firing at one of the new Sith Empire Star Destroyers, and is using missiles at one of the Annihilators, before it is able to fire down at a strange world. It's explained that Rey is said to do a barrel roll in the X-Wing as she fires the missiles at the large new Sith Empire destroyer, beginning to fire its Annihilator at the surface of the planet, and that by Rey's side, she is being guarded by the Millennium Falcon and a B-Wing that both Poe and Finn are inside of. The space battle is best described as chaotic and far larger than the Battle of Endor and Scarif in Episode 6 and Rogue One. Another describes a sequence in which it's explained that Rey is said to be wielding 2 blue lightsabers and running towards somebody inside of a strange cave. It's implied that Rey is either running toward Palpatine or perhaps the dark vision of Dark Rey that will be used as a vital test or challenge for her character in the movie. As well as all of this happens, new themes by John Williams will play over the various shots that actually date back to the prequels and originals, that they are all revised tracks and have different sounds to them in the sequences for the fans. The new themes are said to go along with the sequences in the upcoming trailer 4 for this movie. Now, let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this sounds like that they are going all out with the international trailer of Episode 9. So I don't know if you guys saw what happened today, but today, Entertainment Weekly released 10 brand new images. I actually covered that in my last video. If you guys want to go ahead and check out my last video, I actually covered all 10 new images that give us new looks of Rey, Kylo, etc., etc. Now, I want to go over the upcoming 4th trailer and why this really sounds like it's going to be quite an interesting ride. I want to go over the new type of lightsaber duels that we are actually going to be getting in Episode 9. First off, the zero-gravity lightsaber duel. Again, you can see where the discussions between Dave Filoni and J.J. Abrams really came from and how they are now actually embedded within The Rise of Skywalker. So Dave Filoni, he was the showrunner of the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and there was a saber duel in the Clone Wars. You guys may very well recall, if you guys are a big Star Wars fan, you guys may very well recall the episode where Anakin Skywalker was involved in that weightless lightsaber duel, essentially floating in mid-air and using his saber to deflect the fire, and of course to go up against other, enemies and such, where of course the gravity generators had been disabled. Now, that was actually inspired to be used for the battle between Rey and Kylo Ren for their zero-gravity lightsaber duel. We get a little glimpse at it before it actually happens in the final trailer, also known as the third trailer of Episode 9, where you do see them both fighting right near Vader's melted helmet. And that brings us to Vader's melted helmet, by the way. In case you guys did not know, Vader's melted helmet in this movie is going to play a large role in Episode 9. In fact, it's going to be tied to the story of Palpatine and how Palpatine is going to use Vader's helmet as a way to manipulate Kylo Ren to find the Wayfinder device. We'll get into this a little bit later on as we go through. So, the other segment that I think really sounds like it's going to be quite a thrill is the space battle sequences in Episode 9. So, in case you guys did not know this, J.J. Abrams has stated before at D23 and at Star Wars Celebration that he really wanted to take the space battles to a different level, to a point where it's an all-out war and a war to end all wars, lots of sacrifices and losses. In fact, really makes you wonder if Poe Dameron's going to get killed off in this movie, since that was JJ's original idea for The Force Awakens, was to kill off Poe Dameron as he crashed down toward the world of Jakku. I want to go over how she's now using Luke Skywalker's X-Wing. Now, what the thing here is this, alright? We do know that his X-Wing was on the world of Octu. This basically does match up with the leaks that she's going to go back to the world of Octu and will retrieve Luke Skywalker's original X-Wing. And we actually went over exactly how she retrieves it. We'll go over that, either later on in another video, or, I have actually done other videos that cover that as well. But what's really interesting about this is that she's actually using the X-Wing to go up against one of the new Sith Empire Star Destroyers that actually holds an Annihilator. Now, in case you guys got no idea what the Annihilators are, these are basically Disney's versions of the World Devastators from the Expanded Universe. So essentially, the World Devastators in Star Wars Legends, they were these mobile weapons, essentially, that are able to wipe out the entire surface of a world and literally suck up the debris and basically using it as energy almost. And that's exactly what the World Devastators were able to do. So the Annihilators in Episode 9 are used in a similar sense, where these are actually said to be used to wipe out the entire surface of a planet that it aims at. But it does not destroy the actual world. It leaves it all intact for Palpatine to take over. And that's a very smart move by Palpatine if you think about it, because he actually views the new way to take over the galaxy as not by destroying planets, but to actually take them over, to create new Sith Empire outposts and take over, planet to planet, star system to star system of the entire galaxy. And that's the more consistent way of taking over the galaxy and staying as the ruler of everything. And I think that's a very interesting side by Palpatine, the fact that he has actually, constructed these new weapons over time, during his time over in the unknown regions and over in the beyond. And quite honestly, I think it's a very interesting experience, the fact that Palpatine was there all this time and how he was alive and well. Though in The Rise of Skywalker it said that he's on the verge of death, but in this movie, it is going to fully explain, what Palpatine has been up to for years upon years while the First Order was rising and taking over the galaxy, the conflict between Rey and Kylo Ren. I mean, the list goes on. They're really trying to go all out with The Rise of Skywalker, and hopefully, J.J. Abrams really will knock it out of the park and will really make this movie by far, the most successful film out of the entire sequel trilogy. That's the hope, at least, right? And maybe even a fan favorite of the entire Skywalker saga if they can really play their cards right here, right? So, with that being said, the new trailer really sounds like it's going to be quite a ride. We should be getting it sometime soon. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.